There's this beautiful saying that says, if you want to go quickly, go alone. And if you want to go far, go together. We started MSBIE 8 years ago. And I think I've been looking forward to this for at least as long.
The MSBIE project is a really interesting and unique project. It's one of the broadest and most comprehensive sets of measures on mitochondrial function in people, in healthy people and people with diagnosed mitochondrial defects in the world.
We're all agents of change. We're all collectively creating this world through our actions and where we put our energy. I felt so grateful that I was going to meet all of you today and that we were going to sit down as a community to learn and to connect with each other, and then with an energetic understanding of what health is and how mitochondria are involved in this process.
The research that's being done here has really been so remarkable and really has changed the perspective for us as clinicians, that it gives us more data on how the mitochondria are really communicating within the body with one another, far beyond what we understood before.
The breadth of what we've learned everywhere from the molecular level, the little proteins that are inside the mitochondria and the mitochondria can secrete, all the way up to cells and organs and brains and whole physiological systems, and then how people perceive the world around them and how they respond to stress. And we're social creatures ultimately, and what mitochondrial psychobiology is about is bridging those domains of analysis from mitochondria to the lived human experience, from organelle to organism, and from energy to experience.
When they say that mitochondria are more than just the powerhouse of the cell, that's a common term we all use and have for years and teach our patients, but it really is the motherboard of the cell. And so much of the details that were covered about how the mitochondria are so different in different tissues and organs, and understanding that the way in which they communicate is very different from how we've understood it in the past. And it really takes us through a systems biology lens with a very new perspective.
We wanted to understand the link between mind, psychosocial processes, subjective experiences, and the biology. One area that hadn't been explored really is the role of mitochondria, the role of energy in mind-body processes.
Well, I've been working with Martin and the MSBIE data for a while. It's a fantastic study. It's so rich, but even with that, I was still blown away by just how much has come out of it so quickly and so well, and how diverse that is. So, you've got very much, psychological aspects, you've got mitochondrial aspects, you've got stress response aspects, you've got mitochondrial disease aspects, and all of this is coming together in just amazing ways.
This conference has done such an amazing job for having a wide variety of ways of looking at mitochondrial health and physiology, from structural imaging analysis with fMRI to thinking about the long-term effects of disease on cognitive function and neuropsychiatric effects, things like depression from having long-term disease processes. It's a holistic way of looking at the body that's centered around the mitochondria.
If you want to change how we think and discover completely new things about a topic, what needs to happen is connective thinking. And this is what MSBIE has been of. It's been a hub for connecting people, different ideas, and to discover new things.
Everything we do has to be powered by ATP, cellular energy currency, basically. And the mitochondria aren't the only way we make ATP, but they're probably the main way in most of our cells. And if we think about everything our body does as sort of operating within an economy of energy, it's important that we're able to meet the demands of the body through basically energy transformation in the mitochondria. And if we can't meet those demands, that imposes constraints and trade-offs downstream of this that we think are relevant not just in mitochondrial disease, which is what MSBIE is about, but more broadly for health and aging and all sorts of other conditions that, no surprise, involve mitochondria and energy.
Broad question we want to ask: how does energy in general, and mitochondrial biology in particular, influence human psychobiological processes, human experiences, aging, and the expression of mitochondrial diseases?
One thing that I loved hearing about is the mitotyping and the different types of characterization of different immune cells and the different types of mitochondrial activity expression in different immune cell types. So the diversity of mitochondria in different cell types and the different levels of expression is going to give us a lot to think about.
Really just pushing the field forward and what we can do to support our mitochondria. And as somebody with a rare genetic mitochondrial condition, I am all in, and I'm super stoked to see how it's going to continue to advance the field.
Yeah, mitochondria are so important to studies of health and disease because they're kind of the ground zero of all these different symptoms and diseases and disorders that we have. Almost all of them, at least to some degree, can be characterized by dysfunction at the level of the mitochondria.
Taking the psychobiological aspect and then trying to understand the relationship with more molecular biological biomarkers and mitochondrial energetics, it's pretty novel. I haven't really seen anything like this before.
This has been an awesome way to look at one specific type of aging with mitochondrial dysfunction and energy, and seeing how that can be affected by factors that we don't really think about too much.
I think that adds a very unique novelty to the work because that is currently lacking, being able to get mitochondrial function actively in humans. It's very difficult. So the fact that they got it is great.
We need to study people over time and both evaluate biomarkers, but also how they feel about their health day to day.
It's really fun and fascinating to see all the different kinds of aspects of the data that Martin's lab has been looking at and his collaborators.
So it's really nice to see the interest of our work and our impact, because we work in the lab, we don't necessarily realize how much impact it can have. So it was good to connect with people that are interested in what we are doing and brainstorm together.
We had over 550 registrants for the symposium, people from all over the world. Really broad range of interest and cultures and backgrounds, and scientists and non-scientists, entrepreneurs, clinicians, reporters, funders. So there's really a beautiful group of human beings who were here to understand something about the mind-mitochondria connection and how energy might influence our health, and how we might use that knowledge to create better approaches, better treatments for diseases, and to help us achieve our human potential.
Together, through our thoughts, through our actions, what you decide to do, including like spending this day here with this group, is what shapes the future.